All right, that was Jujutsu Kaisen episode 9.
Yeah, it was.
What'd you think?
This episode had a lot of new things get introduced. I'm a little like, I wish I could rewatch it, honestly, because
a lot of information.
There was a lot of information, a lot of like new kind of character introduction, a lot of new locations that seem to be possibly important that we're gonna see more in the future. Like the hideout where Mojito was. Obviously this kid that was there,
Yoshino Junpei.
Yeah, in the opening, you see him, like, palling out with, Itadori, like, as if they're friends, but it seems like it might be, like, have to be a double agent situation, because it seems like, I think they said briefly that a certain type of curse could possibly, if they were able to turn people into curses, they could then even maybe give people cursed energy. And I'm like, is he gonna use this kid? Because obviously the kid approached him and was like, how do I do that too? So I wonder if it's going to be like a double agent situation where Itadori is going to have to try to befriend this kid and kind of talk him out of the mayhem, I guess. Use him to get closer to Mihito, but then it could also be a double agent on the other side. He might be told by Mojito to befriend Itadori and get close to him, It could be like go a bunch of ways, especially if in the opening it shows them kind of like really close together with each other.
That's the one thing about anime openings. Sometimes
I know, I'm like,
give you
what
details that
it gives me
like...
more questions, honestly, about like if he hadn't been in the opening in that way, I would just be thinking that they would have no relationship at all, and that Itadori would just kind of run up to him, test if
and
he
be like
has
a
cursed
quick
energy.
in and
It'd be
out
a quick
character.
interaction. Yeah,
but
he's just gonna. I would think he'd probably die at the end, and or be saved or something.
Yeah, but because of
that, it makes me think that he has more of a role than he. I don't know. He might have more of a role. It seemed when Mihito kind of pushed his hair back a little bit, there was a red mark, like right here. But maybe it's a scar or something, maybe, and so that's why he wears his hair down. So I don't want to assume that Mojito already touched him and did something to him, because he wears his hair covering that half of his face already.
Just to clarify, because it was given to us in this episode, you saw a vision or a memory seemingly of what looked like a cigarette being pushed towards the camera.
So he's possibly from an abusive household, and or those guys that are bullying him did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's, I think, what could be taken away from
I was so just wrapped up trying to understand everything that I
Yeah.
definitely missed some things in this episode. Like the whole time that Nanami, right?
Yeah.
Satoru?
Nanami-sensei? Nanami Kento?
Oh, Kento?
I call him Nanami-sensei.
But he said not to call him sensei.
Well, he's my teacher.
During his explanation of his technique and his talking to Itadori, I was so in the moment of trying to understand where these curses came from and how was Itadori going to fight them, but also trying to understand how Nanami was fighting them, but also like, oh my gosh, you're confusing Itadori by talking so much when he's trying to fight.
I mean, Nanami-sensei was fighting while talking, so why shouldn't Itadori
I know,
be able
it's
to?
a good lesson to be able to multitask. Itadori showed us that divergent fists, I think is what it was called.
It was called that, and it was given that name, seemingly, by Gojo Sensei. What?
It makes sense that he would give it a name like that, because I'm pretty sure he used some very similar words when he was talking about his own powers to... What was his name? The guy with the volcano on his head.
Gojo... Jogo?
Jogo! Jogo. That's what it was.
Jogo.
He used similar words to divergent, so it makes sense that he would choose a word like that to name a cursed energy move of Itadori's. I was like super into it when Nanami was talking about the percentage of power and how if Itadori was putting like 100% of his cursed energy into that move, like, who even?
Yeah.
No one wants to be there. No one wants to be on the opposite end of that punch kind of thing.
What do you think of Nanami Sensei's, like, approach, I guess, and reasoning for being a Jujutsu sorcerer now? Like, he said that he wanted to do the job or career that was, like, more enjoyable, or was the one that didn't suck the most, and they both suck. And
I like that, honestly. It seems like maybe he's from a family that was in this world, and that's why he went to school for it, and probably might have borne some more disinterest in him. But he has the kind of right lifestyle mindset, in my opinion. Why would you want to do something that sucks so much? You'd want to pick the least sucky job.
I loved his lines about, like, being an adult isn't, like, your age even. Like, those little inconveniences, those little things that are depressing or distressing into your life, those little instances.
And they come from time.
Yeah, that build up. Those are what make you an adult. I was like, whew. Yes.
I think we all can relate to that, especially, like, in the current state of the world. The inconveniences that have been on our lives have made at least me feel more grown up than I did 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably with a lot of time of being home and or focusing on what's important in life more.
Yeah. I really, really, really liked this certain particular Oreo flavor. And it was like birthday cake Oreos. And years ago, like when I first like was introduced to them in high school, I was like obsessed with them. I would eat them like all the time. I'd always go to the local grocery store and pick them up, and I'd eat them constantly. And then they stopped stocking them. And for months and months, I couldn't find them anywhere. And then I finally found them on Amazon, but instead of like a normal Oreo pack price, it ended up being like $45 for one pack of Oreos. And I still bought it. I spent $45 on a pack of Oreos.
That just happened to you recently, too, with something that was like either Cheetos or Doritos or something. Was it Doritos? And it was like some obscure flavor that we have yet to find again.
It's the green pack of Doritos. It's like Vita salsa or something. It's like it's the green pack of Doritos that's salsa. Yeah. And they're my favorite things in the world. And they don't sell them anywhere now. They don't sell them like in small bags or in the big bags. And that is why I'm an adult. Because they aren't available to me anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
They make something good and then they get rid of it. And that's what makes you an adult.
Yeah.
Is that you lose the little joys you have in life slowly but surely.
I love the visuals of Nanami's attack, like how like he sees the scales in his eyes and then like ugh.
I was wondering if his glasses do that for him. Like what is that? And cuz you know how Maki's glasses are a tool basically that have it so that she can see curses. Do his glasses help him pinpoint the correct location, and or was that just a visual of what goes on in his mind?
Good question.
I don't know, because we're talking about magic and sorcery here, so I feel like it could be that the case.
Did you catch what they were saying at the end there, that he is friends with curses based off of like hatred or feelings towards like water or towards like the like different areas of land.
Yeah, they're born from
earth.
The bigger, the environmental, the forest, the water, like,
Yeah.
And he was born from gut, like a human hatred and fear, right? Like they're born from what, the fear of the water, the fear of the forest.
No, I don't think it's just fear. Like I guess
negative energy,
yeah, or like
involved in those environmental areas. I mean, like big environmental areas are thought to be very like spiritual places. Have a lot going on energy wise. So I guess that kind of makes sense.
So now Yuji's on a mission, being a little sly boy.
Yeah, he's on a mission, but like it's kind of like Nanami already knows where. What did he say? He wanted him to experience it or find it himself. It's kind of like a growth test or something. I can't remember his exact reasoning that he said to Ichichi. They said it in the episode.
I know. I just don't
tell.
want to.
Okay.
I'm trying to be careful with what I say.
Okay.
Did you like how Itadori came back in and was like, Nanami sensei, be careful.
I know, so cute.
I was like, oh. Alright, that's all I have you. Oh, did you like the Juju Stroll?
Well, yeah, the Juju Stroll was... I believed you when you said this is probably the most important Juju Stroll in this whole show.
I
bet you died when you first saw that.
I was going to say it before the episode even started, but I didn't want to, like, be wrong that this was the episode that the Juju Stroll was in.
I bet that was killer for you when you first saw it.
I feel
bad for anyone that missed it.
Every episode of this show, like, for different reasons, is why it's one of my favorite anime ever. Like, for obviously, like, the show and action, visual, cool, but, like, the humor, you know, like, how meta it is, you know? Smash Bros.
I mean, like, they bring up
Jennifer Lawrence.
Such current things, and then obviously that penis joke was a very just normal schoolboy kind of joke. I mean, I would totally do that to you. So, I just could totally see Gojo being one of the people that plays, like, the penis game where you have to, like, say it, and whoever can say it the loudest without, like, being too embarrassed or getting attention, he would love that game.
Yeah, Itadori would be pretty good at it. I would want to see Megami try it.
I don't know if he would. He'd be coaxed into it by Itadori and Gojo being like, come on, and, like, dancing around him or something, and he'd be like, penis, you know? He'd, like, finally give into it, and then Nobara would come in and be like...
We're gonna get demonetized. I'm just kidding. But, you good?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
A certain type of curse could possibly, if they were able to turn people into curses, a certain type of curse could possibly, if they were able to turn people into curses,